Hi, everybody. This is Bob Williams of Heaven Help Us Ministries online church. I'm the senior pastor with this ministry, and I've heard the expression before. You must have been dropped on your head. Well, I wasn't dropped, but I was hit, knocked plumb cold out when I was a little feller. I had this uh, open wheel racer. I believe it was number 10. It was silver in color. It was made back when Matchbox cars were made of cast iron. I'd make the motor noise. I'd spin around on my knees in circles, going vroom, vroom, vroom. Around and around I'd spin. Where I stopped, nobody knows. I usually did this in the living room of our trailer. The sun would shine in through the sliding glass doors. I'm sure I'd laugh at myself a lot of times, sitting there looking out the glass. The sun shining in my face. I could then see my own face reflecting in the glass from my side. My dad, who worked very hard, worked good with his hands, he'd come home, be tired from working all week long, and would sit and nap on the couch watching me play. We were rock hounds. Rock hounds. What's that mean to you? Rock hounds is people that would take trips, go camping out, go walking through the desert and desolate places, picking up rocks. We didn't make jewelry out of them. My dad was very good at it. He had a shed and a half set up for making jewelry out of the rocks that we'd pick up. He even made tables that he'd get the big, larger rocks, make slabs. Then he'd cut a piece of plywood, frame that in with copper, and then he'd pour a layer of epoxy in there, put in different colored granules, which is like really, really small rocks. And then he'd place those slabs of rock that he cut from the larger rock on top of that, and then pour it all the way up to the top of the copper with the epoxy. Well, one day I was spinning around in circles, and bam! I hit the hit the side of that. Actually the coffee table, not the coffee table, but the end table, which were little round ones. Coffee table was big long ones with octagon ends on it. It knocked me out cold. I mean, plumb knocked out. My dad probably thought, I just got tired to go around circles and lay down, went to sleep. I never told anybody what happened. I didn't think anything of it, till one day my mom screamed in the kitchen. And when you're a little kid and you hear your mom scream, blood curdling scream, shrilling scream, it affects you. And I took off running into the kitchen, and I ran into the kitchen just as my mom dropped the phone that was hanging on the wall and fell into the kitchen chair. I asked her what was the matter, and she had a large family. She had 11 brothers and sisters, and one of her relatives had passed, had just died. And because my sister and I didn't really know any of them because we had moved all the way out to Nevada, and most of our aunts and uncles were in northern Florida, Alabama, and that area. She would take out her scrapbook and she would sit there and point to pictures, and she'd be able to put together a story with the pictures. And she pointed to a woman's face, and I looked at that woman's face that she was pointed to, and I said, "Mom, she's not dead. She's at the front door." My mom and I raced into the living room, and we went to the sliding glass door, and there was no one there. And she scolded me for it, but what I want to tell you is I had been sitting in the living room in front of the glass door looking at my reflection, and I was joined by another face in the glass, and it was the woman that my mother had showed me just minutes later. I want you to understand it wasn't a scary thing, or I did. Matter of fact, I sat there and was giggling and poking at the woman's face because she was sitting there talking and I couldn't hear her. Now, don't go off on me. I had a normal childhood. I had normal parents and a normal sister. The only difference that stands out to me was that I was hit in the head and knocked out in front of that glass door. Now, I'm not telling you this to say that I'm anything. You know, were there fiery chariots and angels involved in this story? I'd like to think so. Hey, this is Pastor Bob Williams coming to you from the editor's desk, talking to you about a real life experience. It's a testimony. I believe that God uses our testimonies to be able to show us things and be able to give us a word that's going to help somebody else. And here again, this is not about me. It's just about what happened to me. Hey, Jesus loves you, and so do I.